This is absolutely insane. So this morning was my first morning, like really waking up on time, super early, 6 a.m. And I was doing my first Uber Eats order to try to get some extra cash. I just started a new job. I have a shift later tonight at the steakhouse. I just onboarded a new client. It's like I'm stepping into a new season. And then my first Uber Eats order, I'm like, man, I could Uber with the new car because my car's been having problems. And I know I've been having to get it replaced. But I made all these repairs in the last couple months and it was still having problems. So I was trying to push it just until it died out. I said, no more repairs, bro. And it's a transmission issue. I know it because it's been slipping. The transmission's been slipping. And going down a hill, it sounded like I went over a bump. It went, I was like, what the hell was that? I looked around and I saw my car. It dropped in the first gear, and that my entire transmission slipped. And I heard it. I literally heard it slip all the way down to the last one. And so the first parking lot I saw, I pulled over because my car was limping. It was limping. And I knew what happened. So I pulled into this parking lot right here, and little behold, it's a Church of Christ parking lot. And I just started going to church this year a couple months ago as well. So entirely a new season of life for me, pretty much. And I feel like God had a huge thing for that to happen. And this is just divine interception. My Tahoe finally tapped out. And then I didn't even know this was a church, bro. I had no idea. I've lived here my entire life, and I've been missing this. I had no idea. It makes total sense. I don't even know what I thought it was. But now, I'm seeing it up close. Church of Christ. It makes total sense, bro. And it's weird. It's just weird how it all happened. So I called my dad immediately because he lives right down the corner. Where we live. I still live with my pops right now, and he's gonna pick me up. I think he got a date over there or something. So I interrupted his date, his Friday date. But is what it is. I'm gonna have my pops co-sign for me, I think, and we're gonna go get a new car here shortly. And I'm just gonna have to Uber in between until I make that a reality. But sooner than later, for sure. And I know God has a plan. I'm gonna submit to it. And I feel like this is him telling me to submit to it. And so that's the goal. That's what we're doing, guys. And so, yeah, right now in this moment, I'm feeling, I guess, somewhat stressed, I guess, I know everything's gonna work out. But, yeah, parking brakes on because I couldn't put my car back in the park. So we just pulled over, turned off the car, and we're waiting right now. And I decided to make a documentation, nice little time vault video of the day. And I knew this was gonna happen. I didn't expect it to happen this early or this soon, but I knew the transmission was slipping. This car had so many problems. I've dumped so much money into this car in the last year. So much money. It's super aggravating. I don't know if my car is gonna get towed. I'm gonna have to call a tow truck, and we're gonna get this gone for parts, scrap whatever I can out of it, probably a couple $100. But I've dumped thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to fix this Tahoe. I've dumped more money than it's worth, and that was my mistake. And my pops told me, like, son, don't do that. Of course, my hard-headed self didn't listen. I'm like, no, I can fix it. It's fine. I can fix it. But yeah, if the car's not worth, if any asset's not worth more than what it takes to fix, might as well get a new one. You might as well, change it up. And so, yeah, now it's being forced upon me, which is fine. God's plan, God's will. And I trust him. I know he has a plan, and when there's a will, there's a way. I have a plan too. And when you bring faith but also hard work, it always works out, bro. It always works out. It's easy to overthink these things, It's easy to get lost in negative thinking and negative thoughts, to spiral out, to go back to my old ways, to numb out, to smoke a bunch of weed, to, just do everything to avoid the problem at hand. But in reality, you need to face it head on. You need to face it head on. You need to stand up and punch back, basically. And that's what we're gonna do, boys. That's exactly what we're gonna do. That's what you need to do for your fitness. That's what you need to do for your business. That's what you need to do for everything. But I'm a fitness coach, so I can correlate this to training and being fit, bro. If you haven't been in the gym and you want to get ripped, you want to get shredded, you want to grow, you're going to get punched in the face multiple times. You're going to run into wall after wall after wall. But it really, truly matters that you have a growth mindset. And I say this again and again. This is the forge mentality right here. Fitness is just the foundation, but then you order your morning. You relentlessly execute on your goals, put God over everything, and then you evolve and evaluate on a daily basis. If you could do that, bro, you're gonna level up. You're gonna level up, you're gonna continue to grow, you're gonna continue to build. That's the name of the game. No matter what setbacks you have, every setback can make you stronger. Every setback can make you stronger, every setback can make you a greater human being. Or it can make you worse. It could make you worse. You could spiral out. You can numb out. You can run from your problems if that's who you are. Distractions in this world is all around me, all around you. Everywhere you look, you can see another distraction. In your hand right now, what you're watching me on is another distraction. And so, yeah, boys, I guess we got some free Starbucks. I guess her house was all the way down there, pretty close. I sent her a text on the Uber app. I'm like, yeah, so my car just broke down and I'm not gonna make it. She probably thinks I just got free Starbucks, but is what it is. So yeah, boys, I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I want this video to really just be a raw documentation, but a lesson in it, bro. A lesson in it that you can pull out. Growth mindset. All right, putting God over everything. And as long as you continue to push forward, all the problems in your life, all the hardships, all the heartache that you go through is going to build you up to a stronger human being. And to have faith in God. When you have faith in God and you grow that faith, you grow faith in yourself. You say everything's going to work out because He has a greater plan than I could ever imagine. All right, looks like my pops is here. I'm gonna go wrap this up and we're gonna get this sorted out. We're gonna keep it pushing. Bye for now.